Hey, we're about to start the show, and you know the drill. If you've been here before and you have something important to share, please add a capital letter Q to your comment. And if you are watching live for the first time, please let us know by writing the word new, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. Enjoy the broadcast. Now, there's an expression that is completely new to me. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee and Headlines. Today is a nibbled to death by ducks kind of day, says Kathy. Wow, that's a good one. I never heard of that, but the visuals are killing me. Nibbled to death by ducks. Well, whatever is going on, I hope the nibbling stops sometime in the near future. For the rest of us, welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. Here we take a look at news from our city, state, and country. We take a look at your comments, ideas, suggestions, feedback. We scratch our armpits when we get itchy. Why not? It is Thursday after all. What do we have today? We have sneaky political news. We have animal rescue stories. We have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I hope you are comfortable drinking your coffee or your beverage of choice. Let us get started with what we have. And we start with sneaky information. I don't know about the timing of this one, but I find it very amusing and suspicious. Just a few days ago, we reported on how our city only has one public ambulance, or one ambulance owned by the city. Then yesterday, Vallarta Independiente reported that there are new ambulances in town, 4 of them for that matter, and that they have been in storage for 10 days, hinting that Mayor Michel has been waiting to deliver them as part of some kind of political event. Meanwhile, of course, the wait time for an ambulance in Puerto Vallarta continues to be less than desirable. And that was yesterday. Of course, this morning we learned that the ambulances were actually delivered to the Civil Protection Department with the usual political fanfare, along with a 21-passenger minivan for the Municipal Sports Council. So we're not going to dwell on the timing of these events and whether they are politically motivated or not. We're simply going to be grateful that should we need an ambulance in the near future, hopefully we'll get one of the brand spanking new ones. They're pretty and red. Also, I've been thinking lately that given the fact that there's always the obligatory photograph of Mayor Michel sitting on the conductor's seat of every vehicle he delivers, maybe we should start collecting those photographs and doing a music video. Of course not. We don't have time for that kind of stuff. Don't pay any attention to me. Anyhow, Noticias PV reports of another giant parota tree that has been cut down in Colonia Versalles, this time on Palm Springs Street, leaving residents wondering why the tree was chopped and whether this was done with the proper permits in place or not. There's not much we can do about these kinds of things other than to hope for more transparency on behalf of the municipal government. It is truly nice to see that people care about these things to report them, but it would be even nicer if the local government would take that as a hint and would provide more information as to why these things happen and who authorizes them. Now, we truly, truly hope this is not a current photograph. You see, you are looking at the Las Truchas Bridge, one of the major challenges along the Compostela to Las Varas stretch of the new highway that is allegedly complete and awaiting inspection. Apparently, however, some problems have been detected on the bridge that may result in a small delay. About a month, they say. Again, I'll believe it when I go through it, but by looking at these photographs, if this is where the bridge is at, with only 2 or 3 weeks to go, I think this is not ready. Again, I hope this is an archival photograph, not one that was taken today or yesterday. Now, here's something else that we haven't talked about, which has to do with the new highway, but we just haven't been thinking about this, which is the time it takes to get from Puerto Vallarta to Tepic. This time will also improve with the new highway. Presently, it takes approximately 3 hours and 20 minutes to get from Puerto Vallarta to Tepic. But once the new stretch opens to the public, this time will be reduced to approximately 1 hour and 40 minutes. So with less than 2 hours of travel time, a day trip to Tepic becomes a lot more desirable. I've had to go to Tepic for the day some time ago when you couldn't get your passport delivered on the same day, and I was in a hurry, so I had to go to Tepic. And unfortunately, the time travel prevented me from really enjoying the city. But I wonder if anybody has visited Tepic. I've been to the city a couple of times. Only once have I been able to do touristy things, but I'm looking forward to exploring the city of Tepic a little bit more. If you've been to Tepic and you found something interesting there, please let us know in your comments. Last but not least, before we break over to the weather, I want to let you know that Saturday is Flag Day in Mexico. And as usual, PIDA, my personal inflatable digital assistant, will prepare a short feature on the history of the Mexican flag. And while this is an official commemorative day, it is not a federal holiday, so expect everything to be open as usual. And now, boom, let me switch over to the weather forecast. That cloud looks like your family proctologist giving your father a prostate exam. That's not a nice picture. It is 25 degrees out there. Humidity is at 52%, not bad. And our weather forecast says humid with mostly cloudy skies throughout the day with a high of 29 and a low of 17. Then tomorrow, Friday, we wrap up the week with a humid day with partly cloudy skies throughout the day, a high of 28 and a low of 16. And then Saturday, we'll have a humid day with mostly clear skies throughout the day with a high temperature of 27 and a low temperature of 16. And that is what we have. We have a couple of other things that I want to share with you, starting with a story of animal rescue. I don't know about you, but I'm always drawn to these stories of animal rescue. So I was happy to learn that a neglected elephant in Jalisco has been rescued. Her name is Annie, and up until recently, she was the property of the Ataide Circus, one of the best-known circuses in Mexico. Apparently, this past weekend, an environmentalist by the name of Arturo Islas reported on the fact that Annie was kept in very bad conditions in this piece of land somewhere in the state. The report quickly led to many dubbing her the saddest elephant in Mexico. But fortunately, Mexico's Federal Attorney's Office for the Protection of the Environment was quick to act and transferred Annie to the Guadalajara Zoo, where she is presently being pampered and brought back to better health. This makes me very happy because if all goes well, I will be visiting the Guadalajara Zoo for the first time on my next trip. This is coming up in just a few weeks. I'm very excited. I always try to schedule something completely new whenever I go to Guadalajara, and this time around, I want to check out the zoo. Have you ever been to the zoo in Guadalajara? If you have, feel free to let us know what your impressions were of the zoo in the city of Guadalajara. I'm very excited about that. And maybe we'll get to see Annie up close. Last but not least, I heard from one of our viewers that there's going to be an environmental fair in El Tuito this Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. The information is a little poetic. I don't quite. Well, it says here the purpose of inviting you to participate in community with flowers, fruits, and seeds for the offering is to collectively plant an intention to honor our Mother Earth and all the life that lives in it, to reconnect with the origin of all that is through the elements. There is a schedule of events that begins at 10 a.m. and continues until 3 p.m. Is it me, or is this information not very precise? Maybe I'm becoming too much of a stickler when it comes to, oh my God, Barbara, let me get to you in a second. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm becoming obsessed about these events that don't seem to offer with enough clarity what you're going to do. I looked at the description and I read what they said, and I figured what they're expecting is that we go to El Tuito to bring seeds and honor an intention, which sounds like a great idea, but I'm just wondering if that will get a lot of people from Puerto Vallarta to El Tuito, or if we would have wanted a more practical, more inspiring. I don't know. Let me read this again, and you tell me if this moves you. Again, this is from the information that was posted on Facebook. The purpose of inviting you to participate in community with flowers, fruits, and seeds for the offering is to collectively plant an intention to honor our Mother Earth and all the life that lives in it, to reconnect with the origin of all that is through the elements. Again, it's not like we're being shady here or criticizing. All we are doing is communicating our own intention that these events get better drafted or presented so that they're really, really as attractive as they can be. The schedule mentions some bands, but it doesn't really say much about who the bands are and why we should go. But hey, I'm going to put it in the show notes. Maybe you'll want to attend. And last but not least, before we get to your comments, tomorrow is meet and greet at Whiskey Kitchen. I'm really excited about that. I got to go get some stickers for name tags, rather. That's what I'm trying to say. I have to go buy some name tags between today and tomorrow so that we are prepared for our meet and greet tomorrow, from 6 to 8 at Whiskey Kitchen. I'm hoping to see you there. And now let us take a quick look at what you have to say today. Boom, boom, boom. Good mornings. And I'm totally mystified with this nibbled to death by ducks business. It sounds torturous. Let's see. Gina. Hello, Gina. I'm sorry, I got happy because Gina is a lot of fun to talk to. Oh goodness. Let's see. This one caught my attention. Good morning, Paco. I saw you at Whiskey Kitchen while I was walking my dog the other evening just before the torrential rainstorm. I quickly said hello as I walked by and blew you a kiss as I didn't want to interrupt your conversation. See you Friday for the meet and greet. Oh, that is so sweet, Brandy. You know, Brandy, you and anyone is more than welcome to interrupt me if you see me out and about. It is always a pleasure to connect with people when I'm out and about in the city. Just don't do it in the middle of a movie at Cinepolis because that might not be a good time. But other than that, I'm always happy to say hello. Kelly says people were kind of freaking out about all the sirens, afraid something scary was happening. Oh, if you mean to say that when the ambulances were delivered, they were blowing the sirens. You know, what can I tell you? I hope that was it and nothing else. And to think that the beautiful Perota survived Hurricane Lydia's wrath only to be brought down by some meatbag. Oh, Logan, don't get me started. You know, by the book, okay, there is, as I understand it, there is a way to apply for these permits and you have to commit to planting trees. I mean, there is a procedure. If a tree must be brought down, there is a procedure. I just wonder if people, A, follow it, and B, I wonder if it would be much better if they would simply post a little notice that says, hey, we have permit to do this, and this is what we're planning to do to compensate for it. That's the kind of transparency that, you know, it doesn't sound that complicated to aim for, but, you know, it is what it is, and that deserves one of these. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Trudy says, looking forward to the meet and greet tomorrow. Yay. Gary asks, if you get a ride in a public ambulance, are you billed for it? In Chicago, if they come to get you, a sizable bill will be following behind. You know, I don't know the logistics of this, Gary. That is an excellent question. I do know that if a private ambulance comes and gets you, you do get a hefty bill. I don't know what the deal is with the city ambulances, but I would imagine that a city-owned ambulance would not bill you for answering because it is their responsibility. But again, I'm not well informed about this. Please don't quote me on that. Barbara, it's been a while since I want to tell you that I enjoy your reports. Bravo to Barbara, because not only do you keep your comments in check and related to Puerto Vallarta, but you give us a nice incentive to go and check out places. Thank you so much for your commentary, Barbara. And yes, Freddy's Toucan in Versalles is a very different vibe from the location on Basilio Vadillo. Basilio Vadillo is very touristy, and Freddy's Toucan in Versalles is very much a family-style restaurant and a beautiful place to attend. Just wanted to remind everyone about the music presentation tonight by Paco. Wish we could go, but a friend is leaving town, and tonight was the only night she could get together before she goes. Well, thank you very much for that, Dan. I'm really excited about tonight. It's been a while since we geeked out about classical music the way we're gonna geek out about classical music today. So I am very, very excited about that. Andrea comments, that tree was so gorgeous and huge, looks like removing to build. What can I tell you, Andrea? It is what it is. And Gary says, appreciate the response. Again, Gary, I wish I had all the answers, but but I don't. But I think that's the way it goes. I could be wrong, and if somebody knows, please let me know. No comments about Tepic. No comments about the event in El Tuito. That's okay. I want to go to Tepic, and I would go to El Tuito if I had a better understanding of what's going to happen on this event, but I don't. And this, I think, brings us to the end of today's broadcast. I hope you had a good one. I'm going to go get excited about today's music appreciation presentation. I'm going to go buy name tags for tomorrow, and I'm going to go have a great day. I hope no ducks come nibbling at my door, and I hope no ducks go nibbling on your, what was it, on your feet? Oh my goodness. Have a great day, and I'll see you again tomorrow, hopefully in the morning and also at the meet and greet. Take care.